Welcome to the Virtual Office Hours. My name is Megan Piette. I am the producer of the Virtual Office Hours and a student here at Messiah College. We have the Founding Fathers here with us and our host, John Fia, actually behind the camera today. We decided to switch up roles. And right now, I would actually like to invite him back to talk a little bit all about the office hours.
Great.
So, John.
Great. Well, it's a privilege to be on the show today with you, Megan.
Oh,
this is wonderful. A little flipping of the roles here today. For those of you who are not familiar, this is Megan Piette. She is the producer, researcher, all things office hours, works on the Way of Improvement Leads Home blog as well. Some of you have seen her picture on that. And as our last episode of the school year, the 2013-14 academic school year, I thought we would ask Megan a few questions and learn some things about how the office hours works and what she's been doing as an intern, who she is, and so forth. So you ready for this, Megan?
Ready.
Megan is not a big fan of being on this side of the camera.
It's a little nerve-wracking.
But she's gonna do fine. So tell me, Megan, what are you studying at Messiah College?
So I'm actually a double major in history and business administration. And I've actually found a lot of ways that those two have actually bled together throughout what I've been studying.
Yeah.
We, with history, obviously, you develop an appreciation of things that, the sequence of things.
Sure.
And how things come together and everything like that.
Change over time,
exactly.
all these things
Yes.
we've been talking about. Right.
And then with business, that not only has bled into business in considering where organizations and where they come from, and the things that led them to be there, and appreciation for that.
Yeah.
But it also business bleeds into history, and because business gives me a little bit of the financial and the business eye, so to speak, that allows me to see things more analytically. But I found that they actually complement each other quite nicely.
I think that's a wonderful combination, business and history. You obviously have a passion for history, right? You love the subject. But by double majoring in business, you're also thinking, I think that the historical, we've talked about this, right? The historical thinking skills of the historian really works really, really well in the business world, to the point where some of you on the office hours have heard me talk about this, where major CEOs of companies are saying, I don't necessarily want the pure business major, but I love the liberal arts major because they can think, they can write, they can critically analyze problems. And you learn that as a history major, right?
Yes.
So I love the combination. We need to have more people sort of double majoring. Yesterday I was just talking with one of our former majors who was a history comm major, and she's working at Hershey Foods right now, and or Hershey Gardens, I think, the Hershey company, and she does tours and things for kids, but she's also involved in sort of PR kind of stuff. So she really brought her two majors together.
It's a nice way to complement your passion with your career.
Yeah. Now, this has been over a year you've been producing Virtual Office Hours, right? As our first intern, right? I mean, I go to speak about, blogging and social media and historical scholarship, and they're like, Fia has an intern. How did you get an intern for your blog, right? In your year of working here, or working for me and working for the blog and working for the Virtual Office Hours, tell me some things that you've sort of learned along the way.
A lot of digital skills. I mean, in this day and age, those are kind of something that everybody needs to know a little bit. But they've helped me develop a lot. Just between producing the office hours and running formal interviews for our new series, The Author's Corner, and just finding and researching different things that could complement the blog. Those skills have just taken off. I didn't have actually very much experience with blogging in general when I came into this. And those skills have just skyrocketed, which is fantastic, actually.
And there's a lot of, I think one of the reasons I hired you for this job was because you were a sort of double major in business, and you had sort of already had some basic digital skills and so forth. So again, it's this great combination of, historian bringing in some other skill set to sort of help produce and engage the public more fully with these office hours, because we get teachers and professors all over the country who are telling me they're using these things in class, and and they're showing them to their students and so forth. So this is phenomenal. Okay, walk us through a typical office hours. We come in here usually Mondays at 1:30, right? Sometimes we have to do Wednesdays because my schedule doesn't work. But we sit down. I usually sit down in the seat you're in right now. And, we have a rough outline, and I sort of talk. And by the way, we're working on a blooper reel because we don't always get this on the first take. Right? So we have all kinds of outtakes. We're thinking of putting together a blooper reel, so stay tuned. But you get behind the camera. You set everything up. Carry us through the process from filming to the virtual office hours appearing on the Way of Improvement Leads Home blog.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it starts off as Dr. Fia mentioned. It starts off with coming in here and actually filming in person. It's usually we aim for 5 to 7 minutes, sometimes a little bit shorter.
sometimes we go about 10 minutes. Right? We have to cut back and start all over.
Yeah, and sometimes it takes a few takes, but
I can get a little long-winded. Yeah.
We work it out, and then what I do is I just take that back and I actually upload the raw footage straight up onto iMovie. It's a great program that I've worked with, and that allows me. Then I go into it and I cut it up, detach the audio so that it all flows smoothly. Yeah. Then you go in and you find I usually take the outline as well. You find the spots in the video when Dr. Fia mentions something specifically, or he references a website or a certain program, and then I look up on the internet. I look up just images or certain PDFs or something, just to sort of not fill up space, but that helps. But also to just give you guys a visual of what we're talking about, so that you are able to connect with us a little bit more. Yeah. And after that happens, usually I actually have to finalize the video, which is the longest part. And that's just making sure that everything matches. If Dr. Fia is not saying something and the audio is going somewhere else, then that each point is cohesive and into the next, which is a little bit like history in a way, because it has to flow nicely together.
Nice narrative. Nice narrative.
Yes, it has to work.
By the way, I should add that Megan's sister, Katie, is behind the camera. Give us a hand. Yeah, and this is her first time experiencing anything related to the office hours. She's back there laughing at all this stuff. But go ahead, Megan.
Yeah. So then you finalize it, and that can actually take several hours. Not the actual. I don't have to do much. iMovie has this fantastic little button where you hit finalize, and it actually works for you, and it cleans up all your edges, turns it into an HD video, which is beautiful, fantastic. And then I upload it to YouTube because we have our account on there. It's under John Fia.
Which probably will be appearing right now as we're talking.
There are several. Actually, that's where you can find all of our office hours. Actually, you just have to keep going down the list, and they're all there from the first episode. And then from there, we go to the Way of Improvement Leads Home blog and actually create a blog post about linking the YouTube video into there. And that's
Which
what you guys
does.
usually... Yeah. And I do all of this, and that's what you guys usually see on, I think, Wednesdays. Wednesdays around 2 or 3.
No, Mondays.
Around 2 or 3 on the virtual office
usually
hours.
2 or 3. Some of the things that now from my perspective as this sort of host, one of the things that some inside information here is, I've mentioned I get long-winded sometimes, so I'll go on, and I guess it was after about 2 or 3 weeks doing this, Megan would start to hold up every minute, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and then I would have to, So if you're watching the virtual office hours, and you'll notice that I'm talking much faster at the end, it's because Megan's saying time is up. She's giving me the signs and so forth. But yeah, so that's pretty much how it's done. Now, final question. You have some exciting things going on in your own life, right? Especially this summer. We're going to be taking a break from the office hours this summer. We'll be back in the fall with Megan. With Megan still as the producer. She's a junior, so she'll have one more year to go. But what do you tell us a little bit more about what you're doing this summer?
Absolutely. Yeah. I'll start off with the most exciting news, I suppose. Earlier this year, I got involved with a nonprofit organization called 2 Seconds or Less. Actually wearing their shirt right now. A little bit of advertising
Free
for you
promotion.
guys. There you go. And we are focusing on developing sustainable nutrition in impoverished areas in Africa, specifically Zimbabwe. So this summer, actually, for the month of August, I will be traveling with the team to Zimbabwe to build nutrition gardens and educate the local community there, which is fantastic, huge, and amazing. I'm so excited, so nervous.
You have like a title too, don't you? Aren't you
yes.
What's your title?
I started out as an intern, just contacting them, and now they have promoted me to the events manager, which is how I have actually incorporated my business and history, hopefully into a future career in events, not just with like the planning, but just every aspect of it, and finding ways to make sure that the organization is appropriately represented by the events and by the connections that we establish.
Now, you did an event planning internship last summer too, was that right? So this is your thing. And the virtual office hours is an event. Right? So I mean, this totally fits with with your stuff. Well, our time has come to an end. Do you want to bring it to a close, Megan? You've watched me close it up so much. And by the way, this was one take. We have not had. There's nothing on the blooper reel here. This was one take. So
I might have to make something.
So Megan, wrap it up for us.
All right. Thanks for watching the virtual office hours, and we'll see you at the beginning of next year. Thanks for watching.